everyone. This is the third part of my lipids lecture in which I'll be discussing about the metabolism of cholesterol. Now what is cholesterol? You know what is it's the most decorated small molecule in biology. 13 Nobel Prizes, 13 Nobel Prizes have been awarded to scientists who have devoted their careers to study this molecule. It's such an interesting molecule. It has created interest in a lot of scientists. Now it was first isolated from where? From the gallstones. You know what are gallstones? The stones in the gallbladder. It was ever since it has been first isolated from gallstones in 1784. Almost many years ago, hundreds of years ago, the cholesterol, it has exerted an hypnotic fascination for the scientists from most diverse domains of science and medicine. Now you can see what it is cholesterol. It's a major sterol in the animal tissues. And you know vegetable oils which we eat, they have no cholesterol. And you know another fact about the cholesterol, only a little bit of cholesterol is taken from the diet. And from where is this most of the cholesterol coming? It is being synthesized in our body. So it's such a fascinating molecule which has fascinated scientists over the last more than 200 years ago. Last more than 200 years. Now let's talk about its structure. It is a sterol and it has a ring. What is that ring? Cyclopentanoperhydrophenanthrin ring. That is the cyclopentanoperhydrophenanthrin ring. It forms the parent structure of this cholesterol. Now what are the characters of this ring? This ring has 27 carbon atoms, total 27 carbon atoms are there in this cyclopentanoperhydrophenanthrin ring. Now at third position there is one hydroxyl group. There is a double bond present between carbon atom 5 and 6. And at the position 17th there is a 8 carbon side chain. And at position 10 and 13th, there are methyl side chains. So this is about the structure of cholesterol, about its ring. It has been with the various characteristics of the cyclopentanoperhydrophenanthrin ring. Now next we'll be talking about the functions of the cholesterol. Now what are the various functions of the cholesterol? It forms many biologically important molecules of our body, like the steroid hormones, the vitamin D is being synthesized from the cholesterol, the bile salts, the lipoproteins, the cholesterol esters and the membrane formation. So these are some of the important functions of the cholesterol. Now let's talk about the biosynthesis of cholesterol. Now how is the cholesterol being synthesized? Because in metabolism we'll be talking about synthesis and the breakdown. So let's first discuss about its synthesis. Now for this biosynthesis of the cholesterol, where does it occur? Almost all tissues of the body they participate. But where is the largest contribution? It is being made by liver, the intestine, the skin, adrenal cortex and the reproductive tissues. And about 1 gram of cholesterol is synthesized per day in adults. So this is about the certain things. Now where is this synthesis occurring? Means where are the enzymes present for the synthesis of the cholesterol? They are present in the cytosol and the microsomal fractions of the cells. And from where are the carbon atoms for the synthesis coming? They are coming from the acetyl coenzyme A. And the energy or the reducing equivalents, they are provided by NADPH and ATP. They provide energy. Now for production of 1 mole of cholesterol, we require 18 moles of acetyl coenzyme A. We require 36 moles of ATP and 16 moles of NADPH. They are required for the synthesis of 1 mole of cholesterol. Now which are the various steps of the synthesis? First step is formation of HMG coenzyme A. Second is formation of mevalonate. Third is the production of isoprenoid units. Then next is the synthesis of squalene. And last is conversion of squalene to cholesterol, which is a 27 carbon atom molecule. Now this is a flow chart showing that first the acetyl coenzyme A, it gets converted to HMG-CoA, which then converts to mevalonate. It then gets converted to isopentenyl pyrophosphate, which converts to squalene. From squalene, what is formed is lanosterol, and lanosterol further in the end gets converted to cholesterol. Now let's talk about this synthesis in detail. Now first of all, the two molecules of acetyl coenzyme A, they combine to form aceto-acetyl coenzyme A. In this, one coenzyme A is released, given off. So two molecules of acetyl coenzyme A, they combine to form one molecule of acetyl coenzyme A, and the enzyme is thiolase for the catalysis of this reaction. The next step, what happens? Another acetyl coenzyme A comes and attaches. I told you the carbon atoms for forming this 27 carbon cholesterol ring, they come from acetyl coenzyme A. Now here the enzyme is HMG-CoA synthetase, because what is being synthesized in this reaction is HMG-CoA, that is 3-hydroxy 3-methyl glutaryl coenzyme A. Now we have got HMG coenzyme A. The next reaction is in the presence of HMG-CoA reductase and using 2-NADPH, we get mevalonate. So this is the step. Now what happens to the mevalonate? Mevalonate undergoes several steps. That is phosphorylation and decarboxylation. Decarboxylation is what? Carbon dioxide is being reduced, ATP are being used up. And in the presence of enzyme kinase, what is being formed is isopentenyl pyrophosphate. Now this isopentenyl pyrophosphate, in the presence of transferase, it forms genenyl pyrophosphate. So here what happens? This isopentenyl pyrophosphate combines with DPP, that is dimethyl allyl pyrophosphate. The two molecules of these two molecules containing 5 carbon atoms each, they combine, and then we get a 10 carbon atom product or molecule, which is genenyl pyrophosphate. Now what happens? Another IPP, that is isopentenyl pyrophosphate, another molecule of IPP gets added to the genenyl pyrophosphate. So from here 10 plus 5 we get a 15 carbon unit, which is farnesyl pyrophosphate. Now two farnesyl pyrophosphates, they attach and we get a squalene, that is 30 carbon atom molecule. Here the enzyme is squalene synthetase and NADPH is being used, means energy is being used up. Now this squalene, it undergoes several steps using NADPH, using oxygen, releasing water, and we get lanosterol. Now here the enzyme is epoxidase hydroxylase cyclase. Now this lanosterol then undergoes several steps using NADPH, releasing carbon dioxide, releasing carboxyl group, and we get cholesterol in the end. So this is the detailed description of the formation or synthesis of the cholesterol from acetyl coenzyme A. So now you can see how the molecules, they keep on attaching to increase the number of carbon atoms to the cholesterol ring. Now how is this synthesis regulated? For the regulation of this synthesis, which enzyme is, it is the rate limiting enzyme is HMG-CoA reductase. It is the rate limiting enzyme. Rate means rate of reaction. So the following are the different kinds of metabolic control. One is feedback regulation, one is hormonal regulation, and third is nutritional regulation. Now how are these occurring? The hormonal regulation is occurring by the thyroid hormone, the insulin, and the glucagon. These three hormones, what do? They are acting on the HMG-CoA reductase. So they stimulate the HMG-CoA reductase to increase the formation of the cholesterol. Then is the feedback control. Feedback control depends on what? That when enough of the cholesterol is being formed by the reaction, by the synthesis reaction, it itself stops its formation further. So that is a feedback control. And third is nutritional control. When your diet contains enough of cholesterol, you have taken enough of dietary cholesterol, then also this HMG coenzyme will be inhibited. So every time all this feedback is acting on HMG-CoA reductase. This enzyme is either being inhibited to stop the production of cholesterol or reduce the production of cholesterol, or it is being stimulated to increase the production of cholesterol. Now, there are certain drugs also which inhibit the production of cholesterol: the pravastatin, lovastatin, mevastatin, simvastatin, fluvastatin. So they are also the competitive inhibitors of this HMG-CoA reductase enzyme. Now that is all about the first part of the metabolism of cholesterol, that is its synthesis. Now we come to its degradation or breakdown of cholesterol. Now for the degradation of cholesterol, now what happens is several degradative reactions occur. But cholesterol, every time it degrades, it produces a metabolically or physiologically very important product. Like it produces bile acids and bile salts, you all know, which are very important for the emulsification of fats. Then it produces steroid hormones which control thousands of functions in your body. Then it produces vitamin D, which is a very important component of our body. So first we will talk how the bile acids are being formed from the cholesterol. Now there are two primary bile acids, the cholic acid and chenodeoxycholic acid. Both of these are synthesized from cholesterol, and where the site of synthesis is the liver. So both of the primary acids, the cholic acid and the chenodeoxycholic acid, they are synthesized in liver from the cholesterol by various steps. Now which are the various steps? First, the cholesterol. It uses 1 NADPH and gets converted to 7-hydroxycholesterol in the presence of enzyme 7-alpha hydroxylase. Now this 7-hydroxycholesterol undergoes several steps to produce cholic acid. Now this is the primary bile acid. Now this cholic acid, it then conjugates with glycine to form glycocholic acid. The cholic acid then conjugates with taurine to form taurocholic acid. And on the other hand, we have chenodeoxycholic acid, which conjugates with glycine to form glycochenodeoxycholic acid, and it conjugates with taurine to form taurochenodeoxycholic acid. So by the action of intestinal bacteria, these are converted to lithocholic acid. The chenodeoxycholic acids, they are converted to lithocholic acids, and the taurocholic acid and glycocholic acid, by the action of intestinal bacteria, they are converted into deoxycholic acid. So the primary bile acids, they conjugate with glycine and taurine to form glycocholic acid, taurocholic acid, glycochenodeoxycholic acid and taurochenodeoxycholic acid. So this is all about the formation of bile acids from where? From the cholesterol. So cholesterol forming 7-hydroxycholesterol and then being converted to these bile acids. Now second thing is the formation of vitamin D from the cholesterol. Now 7-dehydrocholesterol. This 7-dehydrocholesterol, this is a product which is an intermediate of the cholesterol synthesis pathway. So from where this product is converted to cholecalciferol. Cholecalciferol is what? The vitamin D3. How is? By the action of the ultraviolet rays in the skin. So vitamin D is also a product of the cholesterol. Next is the synthesis of the steroid hormones. Now cholesterol, it's a precursor for the synthesis of all the steroid hormones, the 5 classes of steroid hormones, which the glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids, the progesterones, androgens and the estrogens. Now little bit I'll tell you about the steroid hormones. They are the adrenal cortical hormones. The adrenal cortex is what? The adrenal gland is what? It's a gland which is present above the kidneys, cap shaped over there, on upper lobe of the kidneys. It has a cortex. Cortex is its outer region of the adrenal gland. It has 3 zones: zona glomerulosa, zona fascicularis and zona reticularis. Now the zona glomerulosa is the smallest and the outermost zone, and it produces mineralocorticoids. They have effects on water and electrolyte balance. Second is zona fascicularis. It produces glucocorticoids, adrenal androgens and estrogens to a lesser extent. And third is zona reticularis, which is producing androgens and estrogens. Now we come to the synthesis of this steroid hormones. Now the cholesterol, it is acted upon by an enzyme called desmolase. And what happens when it acts, a 6 carbon unit is cleaved off. Now how many carbons were there in cholesterol? 27. So 6 carbon unit is cleaved off and we are left with a 21 carbon steroid, which is called pregnenolone. Now the synthesis, how is this pregnenolone being synthesized? From the cholesterol by the action of desmolase and NADPH is being used. We get a 21 carbon product which is called pregnenolone. Now this pregnenolone is a common precursor for all the steroid hormones. All of them are being produced from this pregnenolone. And what is stimulating the steps? Adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH hormone. And this is the rate limiting step for synthesis of all steroid hormones. Which step? The formation of pregnenolone from the cholesterol. Now how is the progesterone? The first steroid hormone which is being produced from cholesterol is the progesterone. It is being produced from pregnenolone. Now it is being produced in very simple in just 2 steps. Now what happens? The beta hydroxyl group, it is converted to keto group by a 3 beta aldehydrogenase. And 5th carbon atom double bond is shifted to 4th. You can see by 2 simple steps we get progesterone from cholesterol. The cholesterol being converted to pregnenolone and pregnenolone then being converted to progesterone in the presence of enzyme 3 beta aldehydrogenase. Now next, this progesterone is further converted to glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids and the sex steroids. Now adrenal glucocorticoids are cortisol, cortisone and corticosterone. Now what happens? The pregnenolone, it gets converted to progesterone. This progesterone is then converted to cortisol. How? The progesterone is first converted to 17-hydroxyprogesterone and then it is converted to 11-deoxycortisol and ultimately to cortisol. So from cholesterol we get pregnenolone, from pregnenolone we get progesterone and this progesterone gets converted to the cortisol. And also the corticosterone. Progesterone is converted to corticosterone also. How? First progesterone gets converted to deoxycorticosterone and then to corticosterone. This corticosterone then gets converted to aldosterone. Aldosterone is a mineralocorticoid. So for all of these we are getting from progesterone. We got cortisol from progesterone. We got corticosterone from progesterone. We are getting aldosterone from the progesterone. Then is the synthesis of sex hormones. They are also being synthesized from progesterone. Progesterone gets converted to 17-hydroxyprogesterone, which then gets converted to testosterone, and then testosterone gets converted to estradiol 17 beta. Now you can see the summary that cholesterol is being converted to all the glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids and the sex steroids. The cholesterol, it gets converted to pregnenolone, and this pregnenolone, from this pregnenolone we are getting different things. We get directly the progesterone. From progesterone we get corticosterone and aldosterone. From the progesterone we also get testosterone and estradiol. From the pregnenolone we get cortisol, and all these hormones means they are all the mineralocorticoids, the glucocorticoids and the sex hormones. All these we are getting from the pregnenolone, which we are getting from the cholesterol. So this is all about the degradation of cholesterol. Now you see on degrading cholesterol, it is producing what? All physiologically important products. So all of these products, first we talked about the bile salts and the bile acids. Second we talked about the vitamin D. Third we talked about the various glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids and sex steroids, means the steroid hormones. So on degradation, cholesterol is producing physiologically important products. So that is why the cholesterol becomes so important. Cholesterol metabolism becomes so important. That is why it is attracting so many scientists all over the world. So that is all about the metabolism of cholesterol. I hope all the points are clear to you. If you have any query regarding this cholesterol metabolism, you can leave a question in the comment box, or feel free to contact me. My contact number is being displayed on the screen. Thank you. Have a nice day.